Hi guys! Time to translate to see where our energy is at, to see if we have any blind spots, any confirmations, which I'm excited by. It's our holiday time. Um, so I'm gonna pull cards and see what's going on. Even though my personal self, it's been an emotional day for me, I must say. It's been intriguing. Like the last couple of weeks have been triggering to me. Um, in a vulnerable behavior of a way. But today I got triggered by a movie that I was watching. It was called 7 Pounds. It was a Will Smith movie. Um, I just like Will Smith. He's a good actor to me personally. But besides that, um, I was watching a movie and I just started getting so sad intriguingly. It was reminding me the eternal aspect so much that I just got triggered by it. Um, it's kind of a side note, but it's connected to it. But it's dealing with affection and how people deal with grief and affection and sadness and depression and all that. Um, Definitely when, to an extent, it seems separate, but it's together. But what I'm getting at is, for me personally, I've been dealing with a affection aspect and seeking it, like wanting to be vulnerable with a person, wanted to be hands on with a person. Um, and for me, I've been finding a solution in food, and it's been intriguing to me as into how that could be a substitute and how people sometimes don't recognize what is leading them to eat and how they feel better when they eat, if that makes sense. Um, which for me, it makes sense, but it does come off like a suppression. Like it only lasts for so long. We do have people who are obese, because they continue to keep eating because food is nothing but an emotion. It is an energy source. And some people enjoy it, chefs and all that. They might understand that concept. That's why they enjoy mixing the ingredients and, satisfying themselves and others that way. But as I was saying, it is a suppression aspect of that comfort and feeling until you snap back in and realize, you still missing that. So you go back to the food. It still can be the same dealing with a person, being hands on with a person, That's why it is a such thing called, self love and self worth and all that. But it's like once you have that concept down, you do want to reflect that in another person, if that makes sense. And that's just where I've been at. And that movie triggered me. It was so intriguing, honestly, because it's something I deal with on my day to day basis. Felt myself getting sad and in the mode is about to cry. I'm like, oh my goodness, this has been a touchy movie for me, intriguingly. Um, but yeah, I'll get into the Oracle deck. I'm gonna start off with the Oracle deck, the Energy Oracle deck, which is kind of intriguing that I'm starting off with this because this is the energy I'm feeling, but it's how are you receiving it? Are you coping with affection in music aspect? Are you eating? Are you talking to a lot of people? Are you dating a lot? Where are you putting that energy of affection at? Is what I'm getting at. And it's kind of intriguing that I pulled this deck first, honestly. Let's see what's going on in the energy aspect. And I said that I gotta go back to what I was talking about with the movie. When I started feeling sad, and then I thought of an affection aspect, because I have talked about this before, but I was in the mode of texting myself, communicating with the eternal aspect. But I gotta find another way to describe that. This is deeper than the way I just explained it. But I was saying that I'm craving affection, and then I find myself eating yogurt every doggone day. Intriguingly, once I got, because at first I was, as I was telling you guys, if you keep up with me, you pay attention. I was telling you guys I've been cleaning myself. I was doing the sea salt flush, which is part of master cleanse, which you do that in the morning with sea salt, and you flush, all the toxins out of your body. And I did that because I felt like I had too much energy in me. Like it was a little too much. So I think clean up, natural maintenance. It's good to do often. Um, and I'm still am drinking the mixture. Instead of cayenne pepper, I'm using tune up. I think that's what it's called. It's an orange seasoning. It's kind of funny. It reminds me of Indian people who use it. Their culture use it a lot. I know others do too, but when I first got introduced to it, it was in the Indian aspect and how they, take care of their skin and things of that nature. And I was actually looking up skincare routines, and I noticed that they put that in their skin, on their skin with other mixtures of things. But for me, I decided to use it in my cleansing aspect. Something just said use that aspect. So I've been using it. I actually am still consuming of this drink on top of now I'm processing other foods. Just because I enjoy it and it's beneficial. Um, but anyway, I was watching the movie today, and once I started getting sad and I felt like affection was needed, I found myself going right to that doggone yogurt, and I felt better for the most part. And it's intriguing how that can really go. And I feel like I'm being really vulnerable. That's what I mean. Like this behavior that I've been in is so intriguing to me because I'm the one who stays to myself a lot of the time. I don't really tell too much about myself. Not that I'm hiding, because I feel like I share my whole life with you guys, honestly. But just with me learning myself, I'm enjoying being vulnerable because it seems like that's what I naturally am, a vulnerable person. I'm not a standoffish person, if that makes sense. Um, standoffish person. um, but I've been feeling that same way sexually too. Like I get the craving because I've been honestly not masturbating for a while, but I recently have did it. um, but recently, I think it was yesterday actually, I felt so in a crave mode, like oh my god. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna masturbate. I'm not gonna masturbate. So I decided to go and eat some chocolate, some M&Ms. I wanted something to substitute, I guess. And I felt better, but I still was craving. It was intriguing. But I am getting to realize my body knows when it's time to start producing. It's like, why are we not functioning the way we're supposed to be? So it's intriguing to me how my body just operates and be wondering, what's going on. The car came out, we'll flip it over and see what we got. Hostility. Oh yeah. Energy is on the rise for sure, which is not surprising with everything I just said there. Said, how are you coping with it though? And in this image, it's a camouflage background. It looked like a fall theme. You think of fall time. You think of let me show you guys. You think of that, like a calming situation, but it's suppressed behavior, and it's sometimes hard to freaking recognize. It's a substitute. You're not actually dealing with what the situation is, and it's gonna come back. And I actually been dealing with that energy as into with a person that I'm connected with, which is part of why I got triggered today, honestly, watching the movie. It's like a cycle, like a wheel of fortune, where I'll be fine for a while, like I might even forget about him for a while, and then he comes right back and it be like a light beam, you know, like never left. And that's one of those things where it's like if you don't deal with it, it comes right back. It's nothing but suppressed behavior. Goddess of the moon. And that's what I mean. This is actual connection. Goddess of the moon. You can see clearly. That's gorgeous. You can see clearly. Like obstacles, problems. You see them clearly. You're a goddess of the moon. That's gorgeous. So that makes sense with the hostility behavior. You may be feeling it. How are you dealing with it? Or you might be even going through it yourself. How are you dealing with it? You know, receiving enters to things you were unsure of, or even I sit there and said, I'm in the process of learning myself. Like, I feel like I'm a late bloomer. Somebody told me that before, and this is like, what does that mean? But you just learn later. You don't bloom when people told you till you bloom when you need to bloom, and I'm in a blooming process, and it comes with me learning myself. I used to always have a hard time, and I still do for the most part, when somebody asks me where I see myself at in 10 years. It's just like the food things change, and you never know. I don't freaking know. Do I look like a psychic? That's what I used to always think. Like, do I look like a psychic? Like, I don't know. I go with the art of flow. Be like water. I operate that way. And I always am on track, but people really do want you to know where do you see yourself at in 10 years? Now I can sit there and say, blooming with my family. I have my own business, working from home. Entrepreneurship, I build myself. It's intriguing. I naturally create. People say you can create your reality. It's like it's already created for me. I just got to follow the path. That's the intriguing part. But in this energy, that's how you operate as into. You get an enters. I want to say that are unexpected. That's how I always say I do light in the dark, because in dark situations, people don't think there's light. There's always light. I'm even learning that myself because I've run into some things where it's like, I expect justice to be getting served in certain ways when things seem wrong, but it's like, I'm learning to realize there's light in it. Figure that part out. And that part do get tricky sometimes. It gets tricky because there's always pain. But in that pain, you go learn something where it's not painful. And that's the intriguing part. This is that energy for sure. Manhood in the heart. That's what I mean. This is a cycle. It comes back. It's the Wheel of Fortune. I want another card for that. I think I want to pull out a tarot for that. I'm going to come back and confirm that card. Anxiety. Ay, ay, ay. Hostility and anxiety. Actually, I think we're supposed to have a full moon. Today's supposed to be a full moon. I think I'm perceived so much. Anxiety. I feel that one. Community. You're going to find your people. In the dark situations. Which it goes with finding yourself. That's the beautiful part in this energy. Your community. You're going to find them in the dark. But it goes by finding yourself. It goes by knowing yourself. Did I say finding yourself? It's kind of one of the same, but that's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. There's been so many moons, like the last something months. Definitely, I think it was last month or this month too. Had a lot of moons, a lot of full moons. That's a lot of enters. If you seeking, you're going to receive. And I want to say, even if you're not, you're still going to receive, and that can cause anxiety. Some people like to suppress things. It's like having carpet on the floor and a problem come, or the uncomfortable feeling, you know, information you don't want, you sweep it up under the rug and you keep stepping on it, knowing that it's there. Eventually, you know, it's going to just slide out underneath the carpet and pop right back at you, like, you know, even if you don't want it to get resolved, it's going to. Now, I want to say, even if you forget it's up under the carpet, it's going to circle back. This is that circling back energy. Like, you remember something's up under that carpet, right? You got to deal with it. But it's good to deal with it. It's something you have to learn to even move forward. I feel like I should use an example as like a child or a baby. Like, you come out the womb, you know, usually people holding you or whatever, but eventually you have to learn to crawl, or you just do, you know, but you have to. Nobody just holds you forever. Eventually you have to learn to crawl. I feel like that's a good example. I'm thinking of my son, honestly, when his process is learning to crawl. He learned how to crawl quickly. Like, he crawled for a second, then he learned to sit up quickly. Like, he would latch on to things and like pull himself up. He didn't enjoy crawling. He was a quick, I want to learn to walker. He did it pretty much on his own. And it was intriguing to me just watching that aspect. Because I actually enjoyed holding my son a lot, you know, or just watching him navigate. And I'm thinking about the crawling process with me saying that, you know, do I have an example in that? So I'm thinking, and I'm thinking of my son. Like, he didn't like crawling, actually. He wanted to learn how to walk. He liked it sitting himself up. But what I'm getting at is, you know, you have to learn to crawl, you know, to navigate. Something you need to learn, and you don't want to learn it. And it's apparently painful. It causes anxiety, which is sometimes come off in an anger form, you know, snapping on people quickly, crying out of nowhere. You know, you're suppressing something that got to get handled. What holiday energy, huh? It's the giving time, Joe. Can we fix it? Get myself chuckles. Thinking of a Bob the Builder song. Because it's fixing things. It's giving you a nudge that you need. Envy. This card had not, well, I haven't been using my cards, but I have a book that I use. And I flip through it and I, you know, pick up the energy, whatever it's going to be for myself personally. And this card been coming out so much. Envy. And it's right up under the man holding the heart. How intriguing. This could be jealousy in your relationship. Or it could be your spouse jealous of you. It could be others jealous of your relationship, or it's your spouse. I keep thinking of the eternal aspect. I'm going to pull it from tarot really quick. Because I did want to confirm this man holding the heart. And something keeps saying it's the eternal aspect. You may have help on the eternal side, and people is envious of that. Like, how are you doing that? You operating like a magician. But then it's not too surprising because Goddess of the Moon came out. You know? Oh my God. And it's so intriguing because the man holding the heart is right behind a tree, and the tree got red on it. For me, I'm thinking of a family tree. So this is definitely people out of envying your foundation, your structure, like your kids, your spouse. This is a family tree. This heart is going with this tree. It's the leaves on the tree. This is family base. There's envy in that area. Somebody's not happy with your path, your journey. Which is, that's a little irritating, honestly. Because it's like, let me see, have I ever been that way? I can use myself as an example. Just yesterday, honestly, I left out. So actually, I've been in the house a lot. I find myself going into what they call hermit mode, but it's like, it's naturally my life, yo. Like, I like to be indoor. I feel like, well, I don't say my actual home, but it's like I do stay here, and it's like, I don't know how to explain it at the moment, but it's like, you supposed to like home. Like, why would you not want to be home? You know, like, that's weird to want to be anywhere else but home. You know, it's weird to me. But me personally, I like to be home. I do everything from home. Um, I don't need to go outside. Um, but yesterday, someone was like, let's go out there, you know, go for a ride, you know. So I rode with my ex, and it was actually a little nice. Went out there a little barefooted. I didn't wear shoes or nothing. I just hopped in the car and, you know, enjoyed checking out the scenery. And as I was out there, like I had music on. I enjoy hearing music over the speaker in the car. Like it set the whole vibe for me. But looking outside, I felt like I wasn't missing out on nothing. Like it seemed so weird to me. Like it seemed sad at the same time. Like I didn't enjoy it for the most part. I couldn't wait to get back inside. Um, which for me, honestly, within that moment, like, because once I got, you know, I played a few songs, you know, once I was translating what I was feeling through the music, I actually start focusing more on the outside than like the music and what the music was saying. Um, I was thinking maybe I just need to relocate. Maybe I seen and coped everything that I needed here, where it's like I need a new scenery, like a traveling aspect. Like I need to move around and see something different, you know. Um, which I know that I meant to do. That I meant to travel, but it just got me that that was my energy. I've been feeling that way for a hot minute. Like each time I go out there, I feel like I'm not missing nothing. Like what is the rush to get out here? Like I don't know. Like I feel like I just need a new scenery, honestly. Like overseas or something. I don't know. Something totally different. A new total experience. Cause I feel like I didn't 360'd around Columbus. Honestly, cause that's where I'm in Groveport, but Groveport is so small, you know. You just look over and you in Columbus. But even within the area that I'm in, I can navigate through. I can go from Canal to Groveport to Obetz to Columbus within something of a second, yo. You know, it's like I need something totally different. Like it's kind of hard to explain, but it's not. And that's just the energy I was in when I left out yesterday. What made me even think of that? I can't remember what made me even think of that. It was so intriguing. I can't remember what the heck I was thinking about. I know it was something about the man holding the heart. I, this is blindfolded behavior. This is the eternal aspect. And there, go there too. How beautiful. That's so cool. You're in the middle. You're dealing with the eternal aspect, which is on one side. There was the moon, and here's you. I can't know if you can see the sword. It's a sword right there. But you're blindfolded. You're receiving from the eternal aspect, but it's coming off in a blindfold. Like even in your here realm, you still may not be understanding everything clearly. That's why you're blindfolded, because you're receiving from the eternal aspect. You may be aware that you're receiving from the eternal aspect. The moon is there, and then the goddess of the moon came out, so you're probably clear of that. But in your here realm, it may not be all the way clear. If that makes sense. What else came out? Two other cards came out. The Knight of Pentacles, divine communication is headed towards you. Your spouse could be headed towards you, or a loved one, they're headed towards you energetically. Cosmos. Look up at the stars tonight. You will see for sure. It's out there. It's coming. Page of Swords in reverse. Ooh, this may be physical contact. They may be telling you energetically that they're coming, and they might actually show up in the physical. You're what is it, honey? Page of Swords, which is justice, and it's the sky aspect. It's in reverse. They're coming in the physical. There's communication from eternal aspect that they're coming, but they're coming in the physical. And this is kind of intriguing because this is the behavior that triggers me, because I received this information and the way it show up in a physical aspect be in music or in a movie. It don't be literally a physical body, and that gets me, because like it is nice, but it's like, oh my god, what is the point of life, yo? You know, I do want to enjoy. I do enjoy. I'm not complaining. Like I think it's an actual gift, but it's like I've been doing it so long. I feel like I'm always going to stay in hermit mode. Like it's intriguing. Like I don't ever have to move. You know, which is a blessing. It is nice. You know, I'm not complaining, but I am saying, you know, it does get intriguing. And I got triggered by it today. I've been getting triggered by what they got me for sure. And it's that energy. How intriguing. And it's right above the goddess of the moon and the man holding the heart. That's how y'all communicate. But if you're not operating like me, you're in a different form, they may actually physically show up. Or, you know, you may get it in music, a art form, I don't know, whatever creativity gets your attention for you to navigate and function. I feel like I feel like I can say creativity because everybody feel like they don't got creativity, but everybody got creativity, like a way to express or to learn. Everybody don't learn the same, you know. Um, for myself personally, I learn in numbers and colors, and I catch on so quickly, quicker than people expect me to. Like reading, they will say that I am mentally challenged in that aspect because I'm not the best reader, but I have learned over time. You give me too much. I don't need all that. Like I can sum up a paragraph within a sentence and give you and tell you about that whole freaking paragraph. You know, like in the movie, like I be translating the movies. I can pick up the energy throughout that whole movie just off one scene. You know, but I could watch the whole movie, but all I needed was that one scene that translate the whole damn movie. You know, um, but it's like you supposed to read the whole book. You need the whole paragraph. It's available for whoever needs it. If you need it, it's available. But I didn't need all that. You know, sometimes I do read the whole thing. I need to, but majority of the time I can go right to what I need. You know, but they would say that's a problem. That's a weakness that I have, and for me, it's not. I used to think that, but I never really thought about it honestly. Um, I can't even say I thought about it. I really never thought about it for the most part. Um, just some things ain't expected of certain people. If you are they had me in special ed class. They don't expect for you to know nothing or learn nothing. You just show up. Um, and you do all your work together. Sometimes they give you work to do on your own, but overall they don't expect you to learn nothing. You don't actually get to learn what works for you. How are you operating? And I'm actually learning that that's what's supposed to happen in that situation. The special ed is me. You are a gifted one. The way you create is in a different form of a way. It's beneficial, but we have to be able to move you to a side to draw that out. But they don't do that, you know, to recognize it, So I guess that's why I'm a late bloomer, because I never realized that part. I always knew that I knew things as a young person, but I didn't see how that could help me navigate in life, if that made sense. Even though it's like, if you know everything, of course you can navigate. There's levels to it, yo. Because even with me doing tarot, being really intuitive, um, there's things that I still don't know. The answers come to me when I need it. Like, I just don't know everything off the jump. I do learn daily, which I guess that's the beauty of life. Honestly, if I knew everything, I really would be scared. Like, oh my God, what is the point of life? But even though I did say that, but really, with me saying what I'm saying now, it's like, it'd be weird if I knew everything. But people do expect me to know everything when I say, oh, I do tarot, I'm an oracle. Tell me my future. Yo, I just don't got your whole life print on me. Now that you're seeking, I probably will be able to, but I don't know, yo. It'd be intriguing to me. Um, I don't know, yo. Um, my mind is gone. I have a lot to say today. It's not. Oh, a lot of cards came out too. Jesus Christ! I'm gonna grab this one that's over here by this in the middle situation. That's so intriguing. That goes so perfectly what I just said. Because it's not clear on either side. You're still learning. That's why you're blindfolded. You're connected to the here realm and the after realm, but you're still blindfolded. You're still unsure of things. Appreciation. It's a good time to be appreciative. I am appreciative. I really am. I would say I love my life. Honestly, I live like a fancy person. I actually just tweeted something like that recently, and I was like, "Is it a crime to be rich but live like a poor person?" Like, I like a simple life. I like fancy living, but I like to live simple in my fancy living. You know, if that makes sense. It's like, is that a crime? Am I supposed to do rich people stuff just because I got all this money? It's like, no, you're supposed to enjoy your life because you're rich. You don't have to do what other people do just because they got it. But what made me think of that, intriguingly, um, I had cooked and I decided to just eat out the pot just because it was like, why not, yo? Like, why not? Why am I wasting dishes? 'Cause I don't really like to wash dishes, honestly. So I just ate it out the pot. And I was just like, is that a crime? Does that seem like something a poor person to do because they ain't got no dishes? But it's like, is that a stereotype? Like, what the foolery? I'm pretty sure there's fancy rich people who have dishes that look like freaking pots, but it's actually a dish, that they actually would eat off of. Or even in a restaurant. You know how you go to restaurants and they bring you your food and it's really hot, but it's like on this hot pot situation. They would say it's a plate, but it looks like a pot to me. It's like that same situation. Why is it okay enough for them, but I can't do it at home to myself? It'd be intriguing. Or, being rich and staying with somebody. Like, why do you stay with somebody and you rich? It's like, because I can. I'm just saying that's how my mind operates, yo. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I really was serious about that question. Like, it really did make me think. Because it made me think in the form as into, I want to say comfortability, not in a bad way. What the way I'm thinking of it is in a bad way, honestly. Where it's like you miss out because you're in a comfortable form, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's not. But I have realized that's just the way I am. I really do like fancy living. Like, I like luxury living, but in my luxury living, I do operate like a poor person. You know, I'm still going to the thrift store. You know, I don't mind getting secondhand aspects. You know, it's like, why not? It's like a gift. You know, like, keep my money. Thank you. You know, like, it's a blessing. Door to spirit. I got appreciation and door to spirit. Appreciation. What is that? My mind is gonna need to think for a minute. But it's like it's bringing something in. It's like people say gratitude. When you are thankful, you welcome in more. If that makes sense. That's what this is. Appreciation is gonna bring in more. And that's nice to know because it's actually going back with that contradiction behavior I just had as to, did that make you get in a comfortable form where you like not growing? But appreciation brings in more, don't worry. You know, you don't have to be greedy. That's when you fall really quickly and you wish that you could, you know, have just a little of something. I think I need to go over the tarot really quick. Envy. This card getting my attention again, so I need to go over the tarot. The sixth chakra. What is the sixth chakra? And it's in the white for me. Look at these colors. Oh, that's so cool. He got the same thing on his head as I do. That's so cool. It's like a cool background. Then it's purple. This is receiving through the crown aspect. And it's going with the door to spirit and what you're in the middle of. It's the throat chakra and the crown chakra. And it's based in a cold base. I feel like that's going with hostility behavior. Just can follow it with the envy aspect. In dark situations, you may have so much clarity that you're speaking that it may cause envy and hostility. Because it's a cold. This is an uncomfortable situation. But for the most part, some people like cold weather. I enjoy it for the most part. I do learn that I function very well in that. You know, other than heat, heat is overwhelming to me. You know? I have learned to come okay with it, but I do like cold better. My body heats up very quickly. There's some people who's like, oh, heck, you know, cold weather. I think not. I got arthritis and stuff, you know. They ain't got that to do. Page of Pentacles. This is more communication. Oh, and the Fool card is up under there. There's something coming through. Queen of Cups. Options, a heartbreak. There's communication coming in through the divine aspect. It may come off as fool behavior because the fool card came out, but it's in reverse. So that's why I said it may come off like that. And it's based off your spouse and options in a heartbreak. Do your spouse have options? And you not liking that? It's pain. Let's go with that envy aspect. I know I need to pull from tarot for this. This actually just kind of reads, I think this is my last translation when I was saying the tables have turned. Your spouse is in power now. I think it was the King of Wands. It might have been the King of Swords. I'm not honestly sure, but however it was, he was in reverse. He wasn't in power. And I was saying, I wonder how a lot of guys would function in that way. A lot of guys, from what I hear, they don't like when their spouse is in more power than them or have more money than them. Like, they always feel like they're supposed to be in power. So I wonder how guys would feel knowing, I gotta rely on you, or you actually have the answers, I don't have the answers, but you do. Some guys love it, it's like, hey, thank God, shit, somebody better know. Which, that's how I personally feel, but this is that energy. But it's pain. I'm gonna pull a card for this pain, because there's pain. There's growth in it. There's justice too. Justice causes pain. Which is kind of weird. It's like, justice causes pain? What type of justice? See, I actually talked about that as to, what the heck was I saying? I was saying something of the nature, I thought justice should be dealt in certain ways, or justice needs to be served in certain ways, not realizing there's light in that. Learn that part and you will figure out that justice is getting done. And this is that aspect. Justice gave an illusion of pain. And in this aspect is raining, which means there's growth happening. That it came from options. It's like your spouse might have stepped out. Or if it's in the career aspect, they're building it in another form, just giving them options. Like if you were in a business with your spouse and they start their own other aspects, but however it go, justice did it. That's why it comes off like fool behavior, but it's not. It's bringing growth. Ay, ay, ay. What we got, travel? What we got, travel? Stop, drop, and pray. There's a problem. There's a problem with your spouse, you in the middle of it, envy, and the door to spirit. There's a problem in that aspect, which makes me feel like your spouse may have stepped out. That's that. Stop, drop, and pray. You'll receive answers, even if I'm the answer. As into, it's not meant to be painful. It's a growth aspect. A bridge to God. That's just what that is. It's, it's growth. It's moving you forward. It's the door to spirit. And that's where envy is at. Envy is in there. Envy is going with this bridge to God. Seeing your spiritual connection. People don't like that. Or they want it. Which is, this is going with the energy that I'm feeling as until I won't be surprised if it come out. Um, a thirsty aspect where people won't start coming. Like they may try to get into your relationship just to have that. That they want that bridge. They want that connection. You know, people like, you look so happy in your relationship, I want that. You know, and then they actually wind up messing with your doggone partner because they wanted what you have. You know, they're not just enjoying it and appreciating it, they want it. And it's like, it's not for you, yo, just enjoy it. Go build it your way. Which I actually was saying, I don't know if I finished saying it, but like that irritates me. But it's like, everybody's purpose and journey is different, yo. You're not supposed to want to be like somebody else. Because as much as they may seem happy, I'm sure there's problems. They're still learning. You know, just because it look good on the outside, don't mean that the inside is just like, I don't know why I'm even in this. You know, people just stay together just because it do look good on the outside, but you never know what's going on in that inside, or if they even happy. You don't know if it's genuine. Is what I'm getting at. Which I actually was saying that about me going outside. I think that's what I was talking about. As into, I went over with my exes. When I went for the ride with him, we went over to his brother's house, and I was sitting in the car like I normally do, which is kind of weird. It's like, why you don't get out and speak? But I don't know. I guess I used to go over there a lot. They seemed like they liked me. I guess since things have happened, you know, it's just like we keep our distance. But it's like, it's weird at the end of the day. Cause like, if me and him still functioning, why do y'all have a problem? You know, it's weird to me personally, but that's to each his own on that one. But and I was sitting in the car and I was looking around. I'm like, everybody out here have nice cars, you know. This is nice, you know. Like I feel like I'm supposed to live that way, but it's like I stepped back and I was just like, I actually do enjoy my life. I do want a car, but it's like I do enjoy being chauffeured. You know, I do like not having to worry about certain aspects. If that makes sense. It's not in a lazy form. It's just think about the people you idolize that you call celebrities. You know, they have people chauffeur them around. Yo, like they don't drive for the most part. Um, and that's just an example as to how you just don't look out and observe other people's life and envy them and want to be like them, you know. And I did find myself in that energy just yesterday, which was intriguing. I wasn't on envy, but it did make me think, if that makes sense. Um, but some people, they do really get envied by that, like upset and all that, and it's like, it's weird, but maybe it's not meant for you, you know. What's that saying? He don't lay no more on you than you can handle. You know, because like I think I actually just talked about this in a tweet I was texting or tweeting, and I gotta remember. Okay, kind of forgot. It's going in the aspect of having everything you want or you think that you want, and then you get it and then you don't want it no more, or you realize like, this ain't what I thought it would be, yo. You know, you may be one of those ones where you get all of that and then you realize like, something's still lacking. This ain't really what you thought it would be. It's not feeling as you thought it would be. Some people, that really fills them. They're satisfied, they're full, tank full, you know. So it's like, to them, that's the best it's gonna get. But for you, you will have it and still be feeling empty. It's one of those energies. And that's how I was feeling yesterday. And I actually just tweeted about that today, but I got triggered by that movie, 7 Pounds, um, and just actually wanting to be connected to somebody that I actually been invested in for a long time, and thinking if he was to come to me and I actually learned him, would I still want him? You know, like that would terrify me for him not to be. Did I go with expectations? But I feel like it would terrify me if he wasn't satisfying to me. Like, and then I found myself like, oh, that's a fear based, and then it took me into thinking traps and over analyzing because I don't see what would change it. I feel like it'd get better because I already got a spiritual connection with him, but that would be a nightmare. That sounds like a straight fear based to me. Like, but actually, a song came on today. I had burnt my hair today, which is in the right now, but I decided to slap on my wonderful hat. You know, just show up right. You know, I hate to say to show up right because there's never a wrong way to show up, but it's not all the time. I do want to feel good, and I'm just in the mood right now. Honestly, I always am, but it make me think about when I go somewhere, even if it's something simple as fast food, and somebody got their hair tied up and they at the window. It's like, yo, you could have put on a wig, yo, or something, but that could be a stereotype. It's just my opinion. And with me serving you guys, I did want to come looking a certain way. I do show up in pajamas and all that, but it's like, it's appropriate because I can do that. Pardon my behavior sometimes, but seriously, I got pajamas that's an animal, that's a sloth, but I feel like I do translate in that form too. Maybe an animal needs to communicate with you. Maybe you do communicate better with animals than a human, you know, which for me is kind of sad to say, but I am one of those people. When I have pets, I do realize I treat my pets better than I treat human beings that's around me.